What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Monero today, XMR. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Before we actually do get into it, I want to talk about Monero real quick because I'm aware that my channel, and shout out to all the almost 37,000 subscribers. Thank you all, by the way. I'm aware that there's a lot of you who are in your first bull market who are watching this channel regularly, and maybe you're even in your second bull market and you still don't know what Monero is. So I just want to take a quick moment to explain, right? Monero, XMR, is the very first of its kind in crypto. It's a privacy token. It's a privacy coin. And we don't hear that talked about so much. Back in 2017, this was a big deal. This was a really cool kind of concept. It still is a really cool concept, but the powers that be in the world, the governments of the world, they don't take kindly to privacy coins. That's why it's pretty hard. Most privacy coins are not available for the United States to trade or other central bank backed countries. You know, in the EU and the UK, a lot of privacy coins, if not all of them, are banned as well. And that's because, you know, they want to be aware of what you're doing, what with your transactions, right? There's a lot of power in privacy. People assume that XMR and privacy coins are just used for nefarious purposes and illegal purposes, but that's not the truth, guys. Make no mistake, most illegal transactions done around the world are not done with privacy coins, although that would be the most efficient way to do it. They're done with dollars. They're done with dollar bills. They're done with artwork. They're not done with cryptos. And even without Monero, they will still be done. Even with Monero, that's the consequence of privacy coins, is that it does enable a more effective means of people doing nefarious transactions in the dark. But it also enables everyday people to have privacy whenever it comes to their own finances, which is absurdly valuable. How many companies out there are buying your spending habits, your whatever transactions, that your statements from your credit card companies, understanding the things that you're buying, so that they can push ads to you that fit that, right? That information is valuable. Advertisers pay for this stuff, but they don't pay you, even though it's your information. They pay the people who are gathering the information that you give that information freely. Crypto is going to change the game. That literally, you will receive a check just based off of what your ad preferences are. There's not going to be companies selling your information to advertisers and them making money off of it. You'll be making money off of it at some point. This is a whole different concept I'm getting on. I'm not trying to go off. I'm going off the rails here, but Monero, essentially, effectively, is the very first privacy coin that's ever existed in crypto's history. I have a theory about a lot of cryptos that are first, right? We look at Bitcoin, the first crypto, it's the top dog. We look at Ethereum, it's the first crypto with smart contracts, it's the second top. We look at XRP, it's the first crypto that's aimed at incorporating banks into cryptocurrency and integrating them, and it's the top dog. USDT is the first tether-based coin. It's the first dollar-locked crypto that ever existed. It's the top dog. Dogecoin is the first meme coin. Bow wow, it's the top dog. You get it, right? Bitcoin Cash is the first hard fork of Bitcoin. And BTC and Bitcoin Cash, they're the same. They're both hard forks. It's not like Bitcoin's this and then Bitcoin Cash broke off. It's a hard fork means they both split off. But Bitcoin Cash is the first real hard fork of Bitcoin, and it is the top dog in the respects of hard forks. Okay, there's a bunch of hard forks. There's a bunch of other forks too, but Bitcoin Cash is the top dog. I'm just saying firsts tend to do well. They tend to maintain relevance. If we're looking at, I mean, even like Hedera with the first DAG technology, Hedera Hashgraph, HBAR, right? XMR is the very first privacy coin, and it's up 21%, 22% this month already. From the lows that we had in April to the highs that we're at right now, even the highs that we've achieved overall, that's a 94% growth, 83% right now from the lows that we had in April. The average crypto, if we look at others, the crypto total market cap right here, they're only up 54% from their lows. Monero is not a small market cap coin. This is a big cap coin, guys. This is number 24 in the rankings. It's maintained its rankings in the top 100 its whole life. It's been around since 2014. Am I on the small screen? Okay, good. I was like, am I just big screening? You guys can't see anything here. It's been around since 2014 and maybe even before that, right? This doesn't have all the history. I'm kind of curious. Let's see. When did XMR Monero first print its first coins? I don't know if I'm asking that right, but Grok gets me. Grok, you get me, don't you? Don't you? Monero first printed its coins in the mining April 14th, or April 2014. Okay, so yes, 2014. That it's been around for a very long time. I want to offer a concept here, a perspective, and I've offered this a lot over the past week with various cryptos, but I want to offer it here with Monero. We have institutions coming in, right? And don't get me wrong, they don't want you to have transparency. They don't want that. But what they want even more than that is, or sorry, they don't want you to have privacy. They want to invade your privacy. But what they want even more than that is they want to make money, and they will do that at whatever cost it takes. These institutions, these government players, entities around the world are lining up their own form of crypto strategic stockpiles, crypto reserves. It's happening. It's literally happening. I know the United States has incorporated Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, Ethereum, and Cardano, right? Those five, with Bitcoin having a strategic reserve. The other four are just in a crypto stockpile, whatever you want to call it. Other countries are not going to copy the United States. Maybe they'll take one or two coins, or maybe just Bitcoin, whatever, but they're not going to copy the United States. They're competitors to the United States. We're all nations are competing against each other. And if you want to outperform the United States, you're not going to do that by buying the exact same basket the United States is going to do. So what do if you're another country? If you're an institution trying to outperform the United States' crypto reserves, what are you going to do if you're trying to get a leg up on a very solid five that's going to give the United States a leg up in finances as well? What are you going to do? You're probably going to look for coins like Monero that have been around since 2014, have proven themselves to be reliable throughout the years, right? And even whenever they're in the pits of despair, the depths of despair, and nobody believes in it anymore, is still finding higher lows and breaking out to new all-time highs. Coins like this are the attractive ones to long-term investors, to institutional players, to government entities. They really are. And it wouldn't surprise me if something like this, even though it's a privacy coin, that would be monumental. It would be groundbreaking. It wouldn't surprise me if this coin is getting input into some kind of crypto reserve in a country or a foreign entity that genuinely matters. Maybe not even foreign. I just say foreign because I doubt it'll be the United States, which makes no sense, right? Like, why? There's so many political figures in the United States that would benefit from Monero. You'd think they'd want to pass this. This should be legal tender by now. That's half the reason why the dollar will never go away, you guys. They need a means of transacting that's not trackable, and that's the dollar. You know what I mean? But anyways, $341 now. Let's get to the let's cut to the jib here and talk about some growth. Looking at this on a monthly perspective, throughout Monero's whole entire life, every time we've been in the overbought zone on the monthly time frame, every single time, you know what we did not do? We did not stop here. Nope. Well, we got in the overbought zone here and we stopped right here. Okay, that's fair, but where did we stop before? We stopped all the way up here at about a 90, which is exactly where we stopped at the time after that, right? The first time, this first drive, sure here, but I would say we found support on the overbought zone and came back up. This doesn't count. Maybe I'm cherry picking, but I don't think I am. We've never seen a run from out of the overbought zone into the overbought zone that ever stopped anywhere here or lower. It's always been higher. And going from an 80 to a 90 on the RSI doesn't seem that big of a deal. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal. I wonder if I can validate that real quick. Do we have any examples of that here? I mean, hell, let's even do this, right? So here it was either we're at the 73 or here we're at the 83. 83 to 80 is still a big deal in itself. But we're going to say 83 to the high here. What was that difference in price? Right here, 83, right over here. The difference in price that we saw from an 83 to the 90, where we went all the way up to the high here, that was a difference in growth of from the low of that month to the high, wherever the high was in the RSI would have been this month here. That was a 400% gain, right? XMR, Monero, I don't know about you guys, but to me, it doesn't look like it's done here. It looks like you're not stopping until you see new all-time highs. That's what I think is going to happen. And not financial advice, not a financial advisor. We've seen two coins this cycle already, XRP and XLM, break out of their multi-cycle downtrends or multi-cycle consolidation phases, right? XMR is one of those legacy coins that's in a multi-cycle consolidation phase. We've seen it with Litecoin. We've seen it with Bitcoin Cash. There's other coins too that are escaping me, but I have a strong bit of confidence that these coins that have been consolidating for multiple cycles, these forgotten about coins, they're going to prove everybody wrong, and they're really going to explode and see some new all-time highs. $341, you're not just going to stop once you get to new all-time highs. You've got a lot more growth to go from a high to a low. And I'm taking this high to low, not the last cycle's high to low, because while this is relevant, it is very relevant, and it's probably even usable, applicable to the current run. This is more relevant, in my opinion, because high to low, it's the overall encapsulating fib of this overall consolidation phase. Yes, we have the fake out high there, but I don't count fake out highs, man, whenever I do fibs. I'll count it whenever I'm doing it from this fib here, you know what I mean? But anyways, the expectation here would be that You don't stop at $1,000. Why is that? Why is that the expectation? Well, I have a hard time coming to grips with the thought that you've been consolidating for multiple cycles just to stop at your minimum target. So I don't think you stop there. So let's move up your minimum target to about the 1414, something at about $1,500. That's only 400% growth. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. The average altcoin, in my opinion, is expected to grow if we take the current price, into consideration. I'm expecting that the average altcoin does something on the lines of, hold on, not there, all the way up here at the 2272, something on the lines of a 20x or more, 22x, 25x, something in that range. Monero being in this others inclusion here, being that it is an average altcoin, but not such an average altcoin, I think it's going to see something greater than a 20x in growth from its current price. A 20x in growth for Monero would put you basically right here at about $6,000 to $8,000. My assumption is you might break just a little bit higher. We could stop right there at $10,000, nice psychological level. It's very uncommon for any kind of crypto or stock or any asset to break above the purple lines here and then stop here. Sometimes you do stop in this area of blackness, but oftentimes you don't. If you break through here, oftentimes what you'll see is actually a continuation up to the 2272. And this is where I think the maximum expectation for Monero truly lies. By the end of this cycle, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but Monero could literally be worth $20,000. We're at $339 now. It could literally be worth $20,000 by the end of this cycle. And the minimum target that I would give it is that if we're expecting it to perform on average, and average would be about here, but we're expecting it to outperform, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? 10,000 because it's I mean, it makes sense psychologically, but it doesn't make sense as far as the fibs go. So if you don't stop here, where might you stop? Maybe then you stop at 6,000. Maybe you do underperform the average coin this cycle. And if you do, a 17x is nothing to be ashamed of. I highly doubt that you stop at anything less than $6,000. An 8x by the end of the cycle, I don't think so. No, sir, not going to happen. You're going to stop here, multiple cycles of consolidation. You might stop there momentarily, but this very well could be 2,800. This could be where you go by the end of June, let alone by the end of the cycle. I am expecting by the end of June or early July that you'll see prices that are worth about $1,500 or more. Between $2,000 and $3,000 is really what I'm expecting, but time will tell. Whenever it comes to the end of the cycle, minimum target is, and I think justifiably so, $6,000. Maximum target, and I think justifiably so, would be $20,000. Anywhere and everywhere in between is fair game. Okay, this is one of the more secure assets. It's one of the more older assets. I guess it's the same thing as saying secure, because the longer you live, the more secure you are here in this game. From a high to a low, you dropped 81%, which I'm pretty sure outperformed the average drop from the average altcoin last cycle. Let's see, 81%. We take the high in 2021 to the low here. That was 84%. So you 85.8%. 81 to 85.8 doesn't seem like that big of a difference, but let's just prove that wrong real quick. Okay, so 81% right here, essentially. That's like what Monero did. That's even a little bit larger. There's 81%. 85.8. It's not a terrible difference, but 85.8, if you were to go like there, that's a little bit less, and I did Monero's was a little bit more. So this is actually going to be a little bit conservative in what I'm trying to say, but that's okay. It'll still prove my point. That difference right there, that was a 20% difference. You know what I mean? That's pretty significant. That's a pretty significant drop. Monero dropped essentially, yes, only 4% less, but overall, like really from that price where Monero dropped, it dropped 20% less. Does that make sense? Than the average altcoin. It had a shorter bear market than the average altcoin, and right now, I think it's in a better position than the average altcoin is to see new all-time highs, although I do believe all of them are going to see new all-time highs. Monero, and I think, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I actually do believe that privacy coins are going to make a comeback. I think that we're going to see, a lot of people are wondering what the next thing's going to be, what's the next thing to invest in, and everybody's saying, you know, and I'm with it, AI, gaming, RWAs. I don't think RWAs are the next thing, guys, honestly. I mean, it kind of, the big ones will, but not everything. I think privacy coins are going to be included in this too, and legacy coins, really just coins that have been around for a long time that have these multi-cycle consolidation phases they're looking to break out. What's great about these coins is not that they are going to give you a 100x or a 500x. What's great about these coins is that they've been consolidating for multiple cycles. They're proven safe. They're safe investments. And in crypto, that's valuable in itself. And I think that Monero really does have the potential not just to perform on average with the rest of the markets, but outperform the rest of the markets. If we look at the short-term stuff now, You're up 20% this week. Weekly RSI is pretty overbought. You're looking like you're right at the right area to find some resistance and some turbulence here. I wouldn't be surprised if you did. I really wouldn't be surprised if you did. I mean, look at what you're doing. You're moving up a lot, tremendously, fantastically. You consolidated for a long time, and now you're breaking out. The rest of crypto is going to follow suit with this, but right here where you are is at the top area of this here. It wouldn't surprise me if you found some resistance. May 2021 to the low here. You're right at the 786, tipping it. Oftentimes with this 786 stuff, you can get some, especially whenever you tear through the golden ratio on your first attempt to that, you get some pretty wicked volatility. So don't be surprised if, you know, you're at $338 now. Don't be surprised if you pull all the way back to prices that are even below $300. What I'm anticipating is that we pull back to 272 or $300 itself. In between there, something like that. We'll find support. It'll be quick, just as quick as it happens. It'll be undone, and we'll be continuing higher. That's all I got. I think I'm done here. A little bit of bearish divergence on the daily time frame. Yeah, double top, probably going to get it, and that would likely cause you to go to where the divergence formed, which is all the way back down here at about 281, which is right there, you guys. 281, right there, 272 with the golden ratio. Literally, I didn't even mean to, but the way that this is drawn, it's perfect. It's like, it's literally, that's exactly what's going to happen. But probably you don't have to go to the golden ratio, but I like to think in terms of like perfection. What would it look like if it was perfect? Bouncing off the golden ratio is what I would expect. Generally speaking, in moments like this where you just tear up to your 786 without stopping at your golden ratio like this, you do look for a kind of scenario where you could pull all the way back to the 236. Generally speaking, that does happen actually, but only in the moments where you come back below your golden ratio, close below your golden ratio, and you have to do it very fast. So if Monero just consolidates here, or at least finds support at the golden ratio, moves back up, any kind of thing like that, we absolve ourselves of these lower prices. And I very much do think that we're going to, right? Just the overall path that we're going on higher leads me to believe that we are going to find support at the 618 at $272 to $300. And that daily RSI kind of helps verify that. So I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.